Lacrosse is our sport, and we our ancestors invented it, and we are the descendants of that, and we take pride in that. And that is, it's not just a game. It still is used as a medicine game today. It is still used in its origins that was given to us by the Creator. So there is a power that is spiritually ingrained into all the play for the Iroquois Nationals.
Whenever I pick up my stick, whether it's a wooden stick or a plastic stick, there's a connection between myself, lacrosse, and our ancestors. Before every game, I say a little prayer to my family members who've helped me where I am today, and to older members of my family that passed away who have influenced me.
The game of lacrosse, as far as we're concerned, is as old as we are. As long as we can remember, we've been playing. What happened in the late 1800s was that nobody could really beat the Six Nations. They just were better at it than most people, and so Canada really tricked the Iroquois out of the game. Canadians cried professional, foul. They used that ruse to remove us from the game. While we continued to play, we were talking about the ILF, the International Lacrosse Federation. They said, well, we should be playing. And I remember the Australians saying, well, you got to be a nation.
Fought to be recognized as a pure native team to play their sport. They got right. And they were turned down year after year.
I got a call in the middle of the night in 1987. He said, we just had our meeting. I want you to know, Chief, he said, we voted you in. He said, the Iroquois National voted in to the ILF. I said, as a full member nation. He said, yes. I said, on my terms. He said, on your terms. Good. He said, so get ready, he says, because we want you to come to Perth.
City Indians, Our family's from the Six Nations. We never really lived on the reservation. Just were there all the time, every weekend. We'd be there all day and go home. Oh, this is your cousin. This is your, you met everybody. I played pro in '87. Won a couple of mill championships. We used to get 150 after the game, just like this. Next, Fritz would stand there by the door and pay. There you go. We go, oh, come on, man. When are you giving us some money, man? Look at, we filled the stadium. They, oh, don't worry, you're going to get your money.
Being from Onondaga, where I grew up, very spiritual, very traditional, very family-oriented community. Went to Loyola College. I was a 3-time All-American. My junior and senior year for Loyola, we were ranked #1 in the nation. So we were very disappointed 2 years in a row that we didn't win a national championship. I was not happy with life, It really got me. I got drafted into the National Lacrosse League. Spent a couple of years in New York with a great friend. Trying to get over the whole losing the national championship still.
Well, the medicine game is competitive. It's really competitive, but the purpose of it is to help somebody who is not well. Anybody in this community can call for a game. If they call for a game, then everything goes into gear. All of a sudden, the whole big events take place. Players are alerted. There has to be a ball made. There has to be a speaker found. There has to be food prepared. All of this has to go on.
The name of the game, the Honchiquaes, it means to bump hips, and that's how you play. And you don't wear pads, you know, you just have your stick. And it's rough. You know, there's bodies flying all over the place, and, you know, people are hitting each other, and you got kids out there hitting men, and men hitting kids. And
this is when the clans come clear, what house you're in. When we play on a field, that's how you line up, according to your clan. We have 2 houses in our nation. On the one side of the house are the beavers and the wolf and the turtle and the snipe. On the other side of the house are the bear, the deer, the eel, and the hawk. Usually you play one house against the other. So the first medicine game my son played in was Rex. He naturally came over to my side and he was standing there, and I said, Rex, I said, you're on the other side, you're in the eels.
Sticks are flying around, but you're not playing the game to hurt. You're playing the game to enjoy the game and to test your skills against another. And so that's where the game is special, because you respect your opponent's skills and what he can do. There is that one, bring our minds together as one. Traditionally, that's, you know, a saying that we say whenever we open and close ceremonies, whenever we have meetings, let us bring our minds together as one. And that's what lacrosse is about, and that's what the Iroquois Nationals are about, and that's what we're about. I know Oren Lions has worked very hard for us over the years to enable us to travel on our own Haudenosaunee passports, apart from the U.S. and apart from Canada. You know, that really says a lot in today's day and age, where you see a lot of indigenous tribes get assistance from the government, and they kind of give away their sovereignness, so they're not true to their old ways.
What we think is necessary for us, for our information, to travel as a nation and be represented as a citizen of the Haudenosaunee and a citizen of each individual nation. Whether it's Onondaga, Mohawk, Seneca, whatever. We have our traditions, we have our language, we have our lands. We are a people. That's all we're asking for, is that any people that have all this can call themselves a nation. Whether you recognize me or not, I know what I am. I don't need your approval.
The Nationals are a national team. We represent the Haudenosaunee. We carry the flag. It's our national anthem. When we play against the United States, there'll be 2 flags going up at the same time. It'll be the Stars and Stripes, and it'll be our purple flag. And it's a great feeling for our men to represent a nation. And I think they don't realize that until moments like that come, and then they suddenly realize that, yes, we are competing internationally.
For me, personally, playing for the Nationals is just a huge amount of pride. It always has been.
We got our own flag and our own anthem. I mean, that's just gotta give you chills, you know?
I'm proud and honored to be here and welcome everyone to the World 2006 Men's Championships. You will see the best lacrosse players in the world this week and next playing Canada's national summer sport of lacrosse.
Great job, man. You know, they try to do some things to us. They wore themselves out while they were trying to wear us out by holding on to the ball like that. Okay? Because they had nothing in the second half. And defensively in the second half, we played tremendously well.
You guys, I got one thing. I always say lacrosse is the thinking man's game. You guys got to think all the time out there. One thing you don't want to do is you fight hard to get some goals and do some stupid penalties and get right back. You win in a fight, you let the guy up and he kicks the out of you. Boys, don't do that.
Build from this.
But I'll tell you what, I'm extremely proud of you guys. And, you know, we're here. We put it together. We obviously a little difficult road to hoe there. But let's move on. We're 1-0, and we're looking to win that game tomorrow.
My mother and father split up when I was about 4 years old, so he stayed in Buffalo on the Iroquois Reservation, and we moved back to Onondaga. My grandfather was Chief Paul Waterman of the Onondaga Nation. He was an unbelievable man, so couldn't ask for a better father figure. He moved back about a year before he passed away, so I was very fortunate that I got to spend that year with him, because I was gone for so long. Wish he was still around to see my daughter, but you know, that's how things are. So.
My dad was a chief. He was in the middle of the taxation fights with the state, with the federal government. I've seen him advocate for Native rights every day, all day, day after day, year after year.
In the discussions at United Nations with indigenous people for civil rights, the colonists will not allow us to put the word people in the writings that we have. And why is that? That is because people have rights. It is better to call us indigenous, aboriginals, or whatever, but don't call us people. Because if you do, then we have rights.
And it's an ongoing battle to prove to everybody that we're here and that we have a voice that needs to be heard. And I think that the Iroquois Nationals is part of that voice.
When kids are born, like my son was born last August, and when I put a stick in his hand, it wasn't just a toy, it wasn't just a wooden lacrosse stick. It was a passion of the game, it was a passion of the heritage that began with our ancestors long ago. And what you'll see is my grandfather, his picture was taken a year or two before he passed away. And what that symbolizes, the picture, is that he's holding the wooden lacrosse stick, the stick that's very sacred to our people. And then you have this picture of my son, when he's just born, he's holding the lacrosse again. There's a lineage there from my grandfather to myself, and now I'm passing on a stick to my son, which hopefully one day he's going to be able to pass on to his son and teach him the game and the importance and the values that it holds within our people.
First instruction was a way of life, and we don't know exactly when that was, but it was way, way, way back. And that was our ceremonies. We received our ceremonies. And then the second great event for us was the coming of the peacemaker, who brought the great peace to us. And that's the Haudenosaunee. The Haudenosaunee is the proper name for the Six Nations. It means the people of the Longhouse. The other instruction we received was to enjoy the day, enjoy life, and be thankful for what you have. So today, you know, we are still here after all these thousands of years in this very same village. 3 years ago, we completed our water system, so there's water in every house. That's only about three years ago. So our lifestyle, sort of, I guess, has been the same, but in some respects, our ceremonies are the same, our songs and dances, our language remains the same. But we're changing with the world just as everybody else is.
Guys, we can't take this team lightly, boys.
No.
They play us tough every year.
Well, that's the last thing I was going to say, JD.
Right.
Hey, man.
We f***ing overlook Japan every single year.
These guys
One
want
Super Bowl
us, just
game.
like England. They're trying to catch us.
This
They've
is
had
their
the
way
lead on
in.
us the last 2 games. The last 2 World Games, they've had the lead at halftime.
Right.
On us. Because everybody overlooks them. Nobody wants to run against them.
Guys are good.
And I'll tell you what, man. We had that lead on England, and you guys know it as well as I do. We started doing some stuff that we normally shouldn't be doing, and it cost us. Turned the ball over, and they went on a run, and they tied it, or got it to 4-3. We gotta stick with the game plan, like Jimmy said. Right?
And one thing about Japan, if you got a chance to line somebody up, boys, give it. Let them know, because that'll set the tone right there, and you don't have to slash anybody.
Right.
We got to take care of the ball.
Let's just
tonight.
keep playing. We gotta win the face-offs. If we win the face-offs and have the ball,
That's it.
we're gonna win.
It's playoff team night, boys. Get us in.
There you go.
Let's
Let's get those nerds, boys. Let's
All
go.
right, let's go. Put it up.
We never lost to Japan. We're not going to start now.
No way.
Now it's on film.
Stacking him, and he's coming off the high stack. So we got 2 guys standing right there, and that's why you got the shot.
Play bookends, play sides.
That's what I said.
Cutters! 1-3-2!
Recycle this way back around. Okay?
Where's the ball? We're getting our shot.
Take your time. Sure, boys. Slow the
Right.
Calm it down. Take the good shot. 12 minutes now. Let's go now, boys. We're winning now.
On 3, win. 1, 2,
together. That's a team win. Great job, boys. Here we go, boys. Let's give them a cheer. Let's give them a cheer. On 3, rah, Japan. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, couple things here. First and foremost, great job of hanging in there. They haven't played a game like that since they've been here. Not shooting, okay, all that stuff. They knew they had to beat 2 teams to advance. Okay? We did a good job of coming back. Excellent job. Started winning some face-offs, started hitting our shots. Okay, good job, guys. Defensively, great job. Offensively, great job in the second half. okay? Hey, we just gotta remember that we need to play as a team, and everything is gonna, and things will go our way. We guaranteed ourselves in the medal round. Yeah! Great job.
Went to high school at the Lafayette Central High School. Was introduced to the game of field lacrosse in 7th grade. Box lacrosse was my first love because that's what I grew up on and was taught my whole life, which my family played.
Up until a few years ago, I got to play in the indoor World Games for the Iroquois Nationals, and that's box lacrosse. And in that realm, box lacrosse being the sport that our players play basically year-round professionally, there's a lot more pro box players than there are pro field players. And so there's definitely a different outlook on what the natives can do in the box.
Box lacrosse came about around 1928 when they began to move into the box, but prior to that it was all field.
Box lacrosse, we all play for teams on a reservation, and you still got a lot of pride in representing that team. You're playing in front of your family when you're back there, and not that you're not playing from in front of your family up here too, but back there it's this is my space. Like down in New York City they had them gangs, and this is their side of the street, that's your side of the street. You come over here, we're going to challenge you, and that's the same thing in box lacrosse.
Basically began playing lacrosse from as early as I can remember, from being like 3 years old, I guess. It's right around the same time everyone else starts here in the Onondaga Nation. If you start playing lacrosse at 5 or 6, you're considered kind of a late bloomer. I remember being 5 years old and being day-long tournaments, starting with the 5-year-olds all the way up, ending with the men's game at night. The community really comes together whenever there's a weekend lacrosse games for the youth and the men's. It's a really important factor in our way of life.
The evolution of the Native American game into modern lacrosse began in 1636, when Jean de Brebeuf, a Jesuit missionary, documented a Huron contest in what is now southeast Ontario, Canada. At that time, some type of lacrosse was played by at least 48 Native American tribes scattered throughout southern Canada and all parts of the United States. French pioneers began playing the game avidly in the 1800s, and in 1867, Canadian dentist W. George Beers standardized the game with the adoption of set field dimensions, limits to the number of players per team, and other basic rules. New York University fielded the nation's first college team in 1877, and Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts, Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire, and the Lawrenceville School in New Jersey were the nation's first high school teams in 1882. Lacrosse is considered to be America's first sport and the oldest sport in North America.
Let's really make an attempt today to stay out of the penalty box. Let's kill them. Holy Shea lost it up. 2 penalties. We're 80 yards from the goal. Any attack.
In the bronze medal game, we were actually beating Australia pretty much most of the game, and we were up by 3 with only 8 minutes left in the game, and they went on a run and beat us by 1 for the bronze. The buzz around the tournament was that was the best game of the tournament, that the Iroquois Nationals is here to stay, and they're fighting, for Australia, who has at times been.
Down on the table.
Okay. Australia has been number 2 in the world at a couple tournaments, and so for us to be ahead of them for most of the game and lose by 1 is a statement and testament to our players and what they've been able to do in just 12 years.
Okay, let's play like this today. Just run with them, keep them in front of you. The one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to take your aggression away. I don't want you to say it that way. I don't want you to stop being aggressive. But we got to stay out of that box today, man. And it's going to help us win, guys.
We got to all be on the same page, all thinking the same thing. On 3, Iroquois. 1, 2, 3, Iroquois.
So, game time, brother. Game time. Here we go, boys.
Keep rolling, boys. Let's keep rolling.
All right. Let's break into this thing. Let's beat these guys.
The game's
too long. Let's do it. Let's have the mental resolve. Refuse to lose. Play smart.
Known each other since we were babies.
Since you could remember?
Yeah, I don't ever remember not knowing him. Or not running down to his house to play lacrosse, or him coming up to my house to play lacrosse, or pick up my cousins or his cousins playing football or basketball or whatever it was. And we've always just been kind of competing with each other, yet just pushing each other. We always know if we need someone to talk to, or if there's someone that we know there's something pressing that we need to unload on somebody, we can count on each other to be there. No questions, no worries. You know.
And now that I got a daughter, because he's got three babies, so I go to him because I know he's the veteran. And he's been there in all these situations, and I'm new to him, so. And there's a lot more situations coming, right? And we're both a lot more mature right now than ever in our lives, probably because of our children. A lot more family oriented with everything, so it's not like we get to spend as much time as we would like with each other. Or when we were single, we'd spend days and there'd be women in our life would be like, what's wrong with you guys? You know, because you'd rather hang out with your buddy, you know, than your girlfriend, you know? So, I don't know, there's probably a lot of guys that feel that way.
You had a player, he got kind of caught in the middle. He had a box game, and we had our game with Australia, and you know, his coach wanted him to be up there and play the box game, so we played a player short yesterday.
We've had a few players that have required to go back and forth to their box team at Six Nations. We've only had one problem. We had a gentleman get injured in his box game and was then unable to play for us.
The field temperature up here was 125 degrees the other day, and when you're out there running in that kind of temperature and the humidity that we're faced up here, it takes a lot out of you. And then these guys were jumping in their cars and driving an hour and 15 minutes to go play a box game. And when you do that, you can't keep up. Your stamina, I don't care how young you are and what kind of shape you're in.
No, it's you know, they get torn. You know, they have commitment there, you know, commitment here, and it's difficult. But hopefully we'll have that player back today. We had a coaches meeting with the captains and spoke about it. We're going to welcome him back with open arms. Hopefully he'll come back and contribute to the team, and we'll move forward from there.
Let's go, boys. Don't up tonight. Let's be good, behave, and let's get this win tomorrow night. Yeah, let's get this win tomorrow night. Well rested. Everybody here that's here right now is staying here. You guys care, man. You care. This is something that you could never, no one else has ever done before. We can do it tonight and tomorrow. On 3, Iroquois. 1, 2, 3, Iroquois!
I don't know. I think he's a little tired. That's all, basically. You know, just a little tired. And things happen when you're tired. And fatigueness sets in. You just sometimes you're a little more high temper. That's all.
Pressure got to me. When you're hired to do something, and you hope to gain a little bit of respect from the people you're working with. I had to make the decision that no more kids were going to be on the sidelines. Well, a couple of players felt that they didn't have to listen. Some of the players, fine, they had their kids up in the stands. Well, when this one player brought his 2 kids down and sat them down on the bench, we said, well, they're not supposed to be down here. And he just ignored us and walked away. So this other person who wanted his kids down there went to the chief and said, how come he can do it and I can't? So then when the chief turned around and let all the kids back down, it's like, well, why am I here as the GM if people aren't going to ask me why I made that decision and what was the reason behind it? And it wasn't because I just wanted to do that to be a mean person or create a problem. It was because I was forced into making that decision by the people that run the tournament here. A lot of pressure built up, and that was sort of like the final straw. And I just had to get away and rethink things.
If you say, oh, I'm a lacrosse player, oh, really? Where'd you play? Oh, how long did you play for?
We taught the French how to play. We taught the English how to play. Well, the English sent the Australians to Australia, and that's where Australia learned. It was an elite sport, there was no doubt about that. But it's leveled out quite a bit, and it's gaining ground all over the place, and a lot of people are playing it now. The idea of Duke, and the media again gets into their own form of promoting papers and sales and stuff like that. Carried it way beyond what they should have done. It was interesting that they got around to calling it a savage sport. They got back to the root of it. They got back to the native person. That was pretty good. I thought, well, I said, it's a racist country.
I remember getting disrespected, maybe in the early years at Iroquois Nationals, maybe racial slurs, but I don't hear that nowadays. Personally, there's still a lot of issues between natives and non-natives that aren't completely worked out.
Racism is a sickness. And this country ain't going to go anywhere until it gets rid of its sickness. Just not going to do it. Don't care what power, authority. So maybe lacrosse in the end will be the game to do it. Who knows? It's growing around the world.
And when it's all done, the guys take their helmets and their gloves off and they shake hands and they're still friends. I guess that's what the Creator meant it for, and it brings communities together to be one for that couple hours that they're together on that field, and that's the healing part, being friends and family together.
So I guess that's kind of where I'd like to see it go, is to see a recognition of the roots and to understand that, this game is to bring people together from all walks of life. And it doesn't really matter who you are.
Beginning of the game, guys, the first quarter of this game is going to be the key to winning it, okay? It's going to be the key. We're going to do everything we can with timeouts, setting up stuff to get a lead early. Because, we get up 5-1, 5-2, and then maybe they get that two or three goal run. Then it's 5-5, not 7-2 the other way. We really need to try to get the lead and then get them playing from behind. They're great when they're playing with the lead because they don't care if they throw it away, so they take chances. Now all of a sudden we flip-flop that on them. Maybe they'll get a little tight, which they will. And if they do turn it over and we go down and score, then we get to 6-2 on them. Okay, so that's going to be the mindset going in here.
Now, we've never been this far. This is the farthest we've ever been. This time. We shocked the hell out of Australia. They're still shocked. So, only thing that should be on your mind today is win this game tonight. That's all you got to think about. All you got to concentrate on. Absolutely concentrate on that.
This game of our lives, boys.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
This is our game, boys. This is our game. They just picked up the sticks we made, fellas. Two or three goal run, okay? Then it's 5-5, not 7-2 the other way. You really need to try to get the lead and then get them playing from behind. They're great when they're playing with the lead because they don't care if they throw it away, so they take chances. Now all of a sudden we flip-flop that on them. You know, maybe they'll get a little tight, which they will. And if they do turn it over when we go down and score, then we get the 6-2 on them. Okay, so that's going to be the mindset going in here.
Obviously very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. And things, I don't know, it seems like it got bad and worse quick. Like in a snap of a finger, all of a sudden I was like, we had the first goal, and I stuck the first goal, and I was like, we're taking it to these guys.
That was a sweet goal too.
And I was like, I'm ready. I was ready the whole game. I felt ready, and I don't know, it just seemed like their face-offs, they won every damn face-off. So as an attackman, you get frustrated because you don't even touch the ball for 10 minutes easily. Then when you do, you gotta be patient because you can't throw the ball away or they get it right back. So your mind kind of just spins on you, and you're like, deep breaths, you know, because your instincts tell you you gotta score to catch up. But then your brain's telling you the smart thing to do is calm down, move the ball around, let everyone touch it, because if you throw it away, they're gonna score another one. So it's hard to balance that. And when we beat Australia, we did it perfectly. Everyone knew when to attack, everyone knew how to control the ball. Very mental. But Australians are probably the most fit team in this tournament. It's gonna have to be physical as well as mental. We're gonna have to run the fastest we've run all tournament, make the smartest plays, every position. And if we do that, we'll have a medal.
You guys know what we gotta do. Execute, guys. We've got guys open. As they're there, just gotta execute.
But we're playing to win today. Okay? We're playing to win. We gotta stick together. Can't have anybody talking about playing time over there. We're here to win this medal. We got it to one game for a medal. Team we've already beaten. We have to play with extreme confidence. We have to play together, and we have to play the team game.
Okay, I want to thank all you guys for being here and being a part of this. I know you're probably just as proud as I am that we're all here together like this. It hasn't been easy. I haven't been playing, and I'm still sore. So I know you guys have got to be really feeling bad. So, but today, this is what it's all about. That's why we're here. Coaches, just need you to suck it up just a little bit more today. Get out there, play your best game.
Yeah, we need leadership today, real bad. Let's do it.
Yep, we got it. Did you tell him I'm a cyborg? Huh? Did you tell him I'm a cyborg? I don't need to be seen. I bleed yellow. Old. We're not talking and we're not moving our feet. That's what we're not doing. We're not moving our feet and we're not talking. We're watching instead of moving. You see it coming, but you ain't moving your feet to do something about it.
Today was a long day for everybody. We dug a big hole early, and we couldn't get our feet under us. We came out pretty flat. We were flat. We came out the way they came out the first time we played them. And they got a jump on us, and once they got a jump, they had a very, very hard time after that. This is a big field. We had a lot of injuries. Had a lot of boys walking out there playing, walking wounded. Some of our key players were playing, I would say, between 75 and 80%. But they played. And, there's no excuses. We win, we lose. So it was for the bronze. We didn't make it, but we made a mark here. So next time we'll do better. It's a hard one.
Always a tough position to play. When he does something, he's like a perfectionist. When when he does something, he'll stick to it. He'll just try and try and try his best. And if he doesn't do his best, he don't like it.
It's the last one my brothers and I are playing in.
Yeah.
And it's been long. It's been a fun ride. It's our 5th one together. It's been awesome. You know, this team's been great. And I just want to thank my brothers and our families for all that they've given us. Because this is, I would never trade this for anything in the world. It's awesome. And this was a hard one, taking that jersey. Taking the jersey off was tough. I love this team and I love my brothers and my family. Hope the team moves forward and wins a medal next time around. Thanks.
Our heads are high. We still made progress, beat the Australians. Now we're looking forward to our under 19s. We got more feeder programs, so heads are high. Awesome. Thanks for the support.
The team is the team, and the family came from everywhere to support us. And there were people here that are across the seas, and that's what it's all about with the lacrosse. Making friends and spread the love. Yep, and let them learn the game. That's all I got to say. I met a lot of people I never knew, especially some young players, coming up players. That's the main thing. Got to keep this team alive and the dream. That's why I look at it. Keep that dream alive. We got to score a few more goals and get a championship out of this team.
Whack that one guy a couple of times.
Probably be on the coaching end of the next one. I don't think I'll be running at 49. I'm pretty sure I'll be a little bit too old. I could probably play in the Grand Masters then, right? 50. But nah, it was experience. I just hate to go away without a medal. That's knowing it's your last hurrah.
And of course, we're the grandfathers of the game. We invented the game. The long stick game is Iroquois. And so it's something we treasure and something that we value and something we also offer to the world. You know, the more they play, the better we like it. We don't worship sun, we don't worship the moon, we don't worship, and we respect and we honor and we give thanksgiving for what they do. So we've lasted up to this time, and I'm sure, like the game of lacrosse, we'll be at the end of the game as well.
This is who we are, and we're not going to be ignored. And you can't just put us in the corner of a textbook and say this was, but is not no longer. No, we're here, and we're going to be here forever. That's what this team does for our people across the country. You know, it gives Native peoples a chance to say, hey, look at us, USA, Canada, Australia, Iroquois Nationals. You know, and that's a big statement in itself, you know, and to have people sitting in on UN meetings from the Iroquois, Haudenosaunee, and this is just another step to getting our message out and saying, you know, we will not be ignored anymore.